You like being a millennial except for the perpetual financial crises at all the major milestones. I think I like the humor. I think I like the humor. Millennial and older. And younger than that, like, I get it. Some of it's good, but I think the quality's gone down, and this is my boomer moment. I just think the quality of humor has gone down. It's not clever. Yeah, right. The humor's not born from depression the same way it used to be. I think also millennials had a lot of grandparents that came from a certain age, a certain time where the humor was incredibly different, incredibly fucking different. And I think having that rub off on you is good, but, you know, Zoomer and below, they don't really interact with as many people from those eras. So it's very, I don't know, very different. Today's humor is too joyful. The thing is, like, Zoomers will be like, but we have so many memes about, like, morbid stuff, and I'm like, it's not the same. I don't know how to describe it. It's not the same. Old British humor is the best. One of my best family friends is an old British guy. Walks around holding a pipe with his little vest on, reading a book. And if I see him around town, I'll be like, oh, hey, Mr. Insert name here, how you doing? And he'll be like, well, another day of whatever. And he'll just, like, he won't say anything funny at all, but I'm just looking at him and he just looks like a fucking cartoon character. So I'm waiting for him to say something funny. But he's one of those people that drops one crumb of something. He'll say the funniest thing you've ever heard once a month. So I'll always say hi to him and I'll always be like, like waiting for a banger, because I know it'll happen one of these days. And really, he's just like, hey, what's going on? Then occasionally he drops the funniest line I've ever heard, and I cry about it for the next month. He's great. He's great. Real funny guy. Cooking throughout the month. I think he's just really good at not trying to be funny unless he knows it's good. Yeah, the one-liner gotcha. He's so funny, but it just, I don't know. I walk past him with expectations every time. I'm like, ooh, what's he gonna say today? Ooh. And I just wait for it. I don't know. Your favorite thing of being British is the dry humor. I always had a hard time in America with humor sometimes, because some of my humor was really dry, and I found that there are like two camps of Americans. There's a smaller camp that's more prominent in the Northeast, I will say. More prominent in the Northeast and in city centers. But there's a camp of Americans that really get the dry humor and have it themselves. And then there's another camp of them that just not their humor at all. So, you know, I would go around and be myself, and some people would be like, you're real fucking negative, huh? And I'm like, those were all jokes. And I have to explain to these people every single morbid joke I just made. Oh no. It gets kind of rough. Oh, you said you find Americans to be really serious on average, East Coast seeming more funny. I've heard that from a lot of my European friends. It's hilarious because so my European friends will say that they find those on the Northeast, on the East Coast and especially Northeast area, funnier, and everyone else does feel overly serious. And then in America, a lot of my American friends who are not from the East Coast, they'll be like, they think they're all funnier, and they think the East Coast is a bunch of downers. They think they're all serious all the time. Nag said you were like a classic New York City stand-up comedy act than a recent react. You know, I'll sit here on stream, someone will ask me a question. I think the question, I think the clip he probably watched was the one where it was someone asked if I would ever move out of the Northeast, and I said, no, I'm not a fucking idiot. Leaving East Coast? No, I'm not a fucking idiot. No offense. Actually, full offense. And when I say stuff like that, I feel like every time I say something like that, I'm like, well, I know I'm about to lose a few people in the room. They're gonna be like, she's so mean. And I'm like, please just treat it like stand-up. Like, treat it like, you know, you're watching stand-up or something, because it's just banter, guys. It's just banter. I've had people email me. I've had people tweet at me about how they don't like me in my chat because they felt like they were made fun of. And I was like, it's a joke. It's a joke. What did you say? There's no way people actually think this is 100% like serious. My brain thought of this and thought it was, you know, I mean, you get me. Like, do I mean what I said? Yes. Do I mean it how I said it? Yes and no. It's said for effect, okay? It's said for effect. Is GEEGA from the US? No, I'm from the underworld.